I'll catch a little bit more of the neighborhood on the way out, but this is in Las Barrancas, which is up off of Garcia Street on the north, just on the north side of town. So older neighborhood, but really well loved and very desirable. This is on a little bit of a cul-de-sac here, so there are some neighbors. This is a house that's been basically a second home for all three of the owners. So it's been pretty lightly lived in for most of the time it's been in existence, which is 1994. There's not a ton of yard space, which is okay if you don't want to do a lot of yard maintenance and things like that, but they do have a really nice patio out the back, which I'll show you in a minute. And then you've got some landscaping over here and a few trees, so it's nice, but it's very easy to use to deal with this. There's a neighbor right there, but it still feels private from within the house. First glimpse at the exterior is the exterior wood looks great. All those vigas are capped. The stucco looks good. All the windows are in good shape. This was probably a portal to begin with that got enclosed along the way, but there's a few skylights. Cool vigas. Flagstone here. This is a home that was built by Sonny Otero. He was pretty famous back in the day, and it has a lot of the things that you associate with his builds. So there's hot water baseboard heat, number one. So we don't worry about the radiant heat system. Early 90s, there wasn't anything that was too dramatic back then. So this is the front entrance. You've got saltillo tile throughout. You've got nice big vigas, high ceilings, some really cool details on some of the carvings on the posts. And then, like I said, saltillo tile throughout, except for the bedrooms. To our right is the kitchen with the pass-through to the dining room. Powder room here. And down that hall are the two bedrooms. The first guest bedroom is the first door, and then straight back is the primary. There is one step down here. Otherwise, this house is all on a single level, except for that one step. So you can see the detail work. It's very cool. It's very cool. It's very, very Santa Fe style. Okay, it looks like maybe plaster walls, but it might be paint too. I can't tell for sure. You've got a little extra shelf up there for storing art. There's a nicho back there. And then this beautiful fireplace, which is the focus point of the whole room. That's a wood-burning fireplace, by the way. And then looking out this window is north and east. So you've got some views of the mountains back up there behind you. But it's still, even though we're in a pretty compact neighborhood, it feels pretty private the way that this house is sited, and with the trees and the landscaping too. I'm just going to go out here because this is the primary outdoor space that you have for the whole house. So it's a nice patio. It's covered. We're looking like north and west here. That's probably due north. So you'll get some sunset views from out here, ambient, because it's all kind of be hiding behind those piñons and junipers there. They've got a little firewood bundled pile there, barbecue. That gate goes out to back around the other side of the house to where the garage is. And I'll just peek over here real quick. The road is down there, but again, it's very lightly traveled. And then you do have another neighbor over here, but there's so much privacy built up with all the trees and stuff. And then this patio is connected. Goes that one's off of the primary bedroom, and I'll show you that next. So it is hot water baseboard heat. I mentioned that, and there's no cooling in this house, so one might want to consider probably putting in mini splits. That's probably the best bet in terms of getting cooling activated in here. Let me just peek in this powder room real quick. Pretty simple. Toilet and a sink, but there's a nice skylight. And again, the vigas are carrying through. Let's head into the guest bedroom. I probably would suggest new carpet, because this carpet is probably original. There's two twin beds in here. It's not a humongous room, but you know, you could get away with a queen size bed in here or something like that for your guests. Here's a closet that's pretty decent. And a bank of windows that are all the old crank style, but they all look good. I haven't noticed any that like may have seals broken or something. This is this quintessential, you know, cool Santa Fe tile from, you know, the early 90s. I love it. The colors are great. That's a really fun shower. It's a walk-in. So there's a little bit of a step up there. But I mean, gosh, just condition-wise, it looks like it's almost brand new. And then there's your toilet in the corner there. Carry through with the blue tile. Light fixture. It's a nice room. Just needs some carpet. Maybe some paint. That is framed. So now we'll head down the hall. And this is putting us, let's see, a little linen closet right here. And there's that detail over the door. We got another piece right there. And then this is the entrance to the primary. Again, you might want to just think about replacing the carpet because it's 32 years old. Maybe a good deep clean would get it taken care of, but it's not a huge issue, but maybe just go fresh on the carpet with that. So this is a good size room. They've got a chest of drawers over here along that wall, and then 2 end tables on either side of this poster king size bed, and then another hutch thing over here. So there's room for some furniture in here. And then, of course, that's where I was just a minute ago to see that outdoor patio. It is all frame walls. The walls are framed. This is not an adobe house, though it looks like it could be. They do have a fan. It's pretty reasonably temperatured today, like maybe in the 70s, low 70s. It does not feel uncomfortable in here at all, but it's not really being put to the test today either at 70 degrees. So here's your walk-in closet. Lots of built-in shelves and places to hang. It's not huge, but I mean, if this is your second home, this is probably all you're going to really honestly need, you know? And then walking into the primary bathroom, we've got the scalloped toilet seat lid. That's cool. And then a different tile style in here. And then a shower again. So no tub. There's no tub in this house at all. You'd have to just be satisfied. But these are pretty cool, just and good size walk-in showers, okay? Another skylight in here, so you got plenty of natural light. Wood cabinets, the tile countertops. There's a couple of built-in medicine cabinet situation there. And then there's one on this side too. Pretty nice, okay? And then of course there's a door to the bedroom. So let's go check out the kitchen and the dining room. So like I said, there's this little pass through here, which could be a counter for sitting. They do have 2 chairs here. Here's the rules of the tavern. No dogs allowed in the kitchen. Okay, that's doesn't work in my house. So you pass through to the kitchen and then a nice little dining room area here. That's a 6-seater. Plus they have a really big hutch over there and a couple other pieces of furniture in here. So it's a good sized room, but it does feel like they have a lot of stuff. And then you have the Vigas again, and then this cool treatment right here of these little cedar latillas. Very nice little touch there. It's quiet in this house. I just saw a car drive by, but I could not even hear it. Now, you might want to think about upgrading the appliances. They're probably original to the house. But again, these old Whirlpools, those things would just go on forever. There's a little island here in the middle. Lots of paperwork that Lois provided us. I mean, everything matches is the deal too, like the white and the black. It's kind of cool. I mean, in a retro sort of way. That's also a conventional oven. So it's a dual. It's a microwave and a regular oven? Huh. Space Maker Microwave Cooking Center. Cool. Coved ceilings in here. So we traded a little bit. Ceiling treatment changed. But there's one really big skylight here that's letting in a lot of light. This is great. Here's a little office setup, you know, and then you've got your washer and dryer, which also are original to the house. But again, if you're only here for part-time, you know, you might get away with using these guys. They're all Whirlpools, you know. There is an alarm system from 1994, 93. There's something of a pantry here, and then the garage, which I'll just show you that real quick, and then we're done.
And it has a new roof.
And it has a new roof, Lois told me. I was just going to ask about that. There's a window in the garage, which that's cool. Let's just peek on this panel real quick. That's 100 amp service, which was pretty typical back in those days. If you wanted a hot tub or mini splits, you might have to upgrade that panel. That just remains to be seen. You do have a short closet here. And I'm not going back in there again because I saw some mice. And then the Well McLean boiler for the hot water baseboard heat. And a pretty good looking hot water heater there. I don't see a date on there, and I don't have my glasses, so I'm not quite sure how old that thing is. Everything looks to be in order in here. I don't see any potential issues or hazards except for maybe rodents, but everybody has that problem right now on the planet in Santa Fe. If you live in Santa Fe, or you're buying a house in Santa Fe, you must get on rodent control. So it's not a pretty place to leave it, but I'm gonna be done in the garage. Bueno, bye. Thanks for watching. Okay, I just want to get a quick little tour out of the neighborhood here. That is asphalt driveway that they've got going on there. It could maybe use a refresh. I know they can do that for not too much money, but it just doesn't look all that great. These driveways are looks like more like concrete, I think, concrete. And then they've got brick, which is very nice. That looks good. And then these folks are in the kind of a similar situation with this asphalt that probably could use a redo. But you're just on a little cul-de-sac here. This driveway is gorgeous. Woo, that's porphyry. That is beautiful. It could be granite, but I'm pretty sure it's porphyry. This is just the loop around here. Sonny Otero was actually one of the developers of this whole neighborhood, I found out. And there's a new roof. It's $64,000. They put it on last fall, so it's less than a year old. And it's more than likely a TPO or the membrane roof, which is would justify that high price. Because a regular roll flat roof for a house that size should probably only be another like $25,000. There's an arroyo down here. I think there might be like some hiking trails in through here. That road takes you back out over to Hyde Park Road, which is the road to the ski basin. And then going out the other way takes you over to Gonzales. I think I said Garcia Street before, but that's not right. I meant Gonzales, the other G. And Gonzales is right here. When I was first driving in, I was a little bit concerned that maybe you would hear some road noise from this road, because this is a little bit of a busy street. But that was really not the case at all. That house is so tucked down in there that it's not going to be affected by any of this stuff at all. Okay, so I'll just take this back down to Palace here, and then I'll sign off because I'm on pickup my granddaughter duty, and I gotta spin around and go get her. So just at the bottom of this hill, basically, is Alameda, and then 1 block over is Canyon Road. So you could walk from this property to Geronimo, say, or to El Farol. You just have to walk back up the hill. That's the only thing. Yeah. It'll be easy to get there, but a little bit trickier on the way back. Here we are, Alameda. And Patrick Smith Park. That's the Santa Fe River down in there. So it's a good location. It really is. It's maybe not right in town. It's not right on the east side. It's not right in town capital, but it's not bad either. Not bad at all. All right, thanks. Buena bye.